Well, the powers that be came for the other channel, so I can't really say nothing on there. But let's look at where we are right now. Now, I'm gonna give you guys a chance to get in here. We're gonna talk about the business of legal marijuana. A lot of you guys out there selling illegal. Listen up. Yeah, I see, Chris. Didn't you sign up with me for the Q dollars, Chris? If I'm not mistaken, I think you did. How many people did you get signed up? Because I think you had like one or two. Because I told you guys to get busy. Jared Gordon. All you got to do is get with Chris. He'll get you signed up. Tony. Get with Chris. He will get you signed up. Well, they might not allow the link in here. You could try it. Go ahead and post it and see what happens. I was on my mobile phone then. Maybe I could get. I could probably approve it here because I'm using the PC. Now, legal marijuana. That is why the other people here, the other residents, will be like, "We don't care about none of that stuff you're talking." Now, whether you're doing a startup or you want to be a serial entrepreneur, a lot of people out there selling illegal. And here's the news I got to tell you: you will probably make more money selling illegal than you will legal. Most people probably know that. But for the long time down the road, you will make more money. You will have sufficient income without all the risk that comes with the illegal. Weed is in the Bible. What? The burning bush that was talking? Yeah, the guy was high, huh? That wasn't God? That what you trying to say? Moses was high. He was burning the bush. Treat it like a business. Do your scouting. Do your scouting. Do your competition. Really realistic milestones. When you set up a business, these are the things you got to do. Formal planning, the whole thing. You got to think long term. If you don't think long term, you will be out in a matter of minutes. See, the stuff like weed and stuff that inches closer each year to the end of the prohibitionary reefer madness period, you know. Oh, thanks, Tony. I appreciate it. Now, a lot of people think that they're going to make a lot of money because they're trying to get their own brand, their own strand, and market it and brand it, and that's it. And they just want to make a lot of money because they're doing that. Here's the thing: you can have a lot of weed shops and everything, and you'll make some decent money, but it's not going to be what you're thinking because the other people who are allowing you to doing it, the government and everybody, they're making the real money. And you're like, wow, what am I doing here? See, the thing is, you have to control the influx of everything. If you got to afford to come in doing it, most people to start off, if you want to start off, get your licensing fee. Pay the licensing fee, and that's what everybody's normally doing. They're licensing everything, and that's the people, the licensor, the people that the licensee, basically, they're allowing all of this to happen. They're making all the money, but see, they're licensing you to have these shops. You don't want to do that. You want to control your money. You want to control the influx, how it's grown, everything. They can tell you what to do, what to grow, everything. You're just being licensed to run the shop, but they tell you how your shop is going to be ran. So you're looking at it like, okay, I'm making some decent money, but I'm losing control. And that goes with this business. A lot of people are doing this and think, like, I got it. Yo, I got this. I'm running it. No, they're making all the money. You're not. Once you get in a position where you could take the risk to afford to make your own and control your own and dictate your own, you're gonna come out better in the other end of it. In the long run, you'll come out the best. You'll have clear conscience of everything, and you'll be able to come out of it the best way. Like me and weed, that would never work. I don't smoke, but I know I could sell it. If I ever got into the business, I know I can sell. I can sell anything, but I gotta believe in it. So if I believe it's something good, I can sell it. So it's got to be what it is. That's the only way I can sell it. But there's no way I would want to get into a weed selling business. I just couldn't. I'll be giving away stuff for free. They be doing, what are you doing? You gave way too much. I'm like, yeah, it was just a little leftover, so I just gave it. Oh no, dog, that's profit. I'll be like, what do you mean? No, dude, you can short him on this one, dude. You did right by him 3 times. He gotta get a bad one here and there. I don't know what's going on. Why would you short him? Man, cuz, dude, that's the game. They expect to get shorted. And sure enough, a guy got shorted one time. He was like, yeah, well, it's the game. I know. I had a couple of good batches. I knew it was too good to be true. So, yeah, I expected to get shorted once in a while. But it's all right. Just making me right on the next one. I'm like, this actually is real? I'm like, this is actually real? People go into this expecting to get screwed over? What kind of business is this? I said, this is retarded. And the guy was like, hey, hey, I had a couple of good runs. You guys have been good more than bad. This one was bad. Let's make it up to me on the next run. That's how we do it. I'm like, this is retarded. I would have a fit. I'll be like, let me speak to the illegal drug manager. You get him on the phone right now. This will not stand. So, okay, there it is, everybody. I figured they probably wouldn't. You have to put the link in the comment section. Once this video ends, Jared and Tony, he's going to put the link in the comment section after we finish the video. That way you guys can go in there and you guys will be allowed to get in. Cool? Now, here's the situation. Investment banking companies, investment firms are buying a lot of these weed companies because venture capitalists understands that whenever the country's in trouble, they turn to illegal activities, turning them legals and putting tax dollars on them in order to fix their problems. They've done it before. They did it with gambling. They did it with the prohibitionary period with liquor, making liquor used to be illegal. People went to jail for it. Now they don't. So that's why you're seeing sports gambling is legal now. They finna tax that. They just made it's been illegal since 1992. Now it's legal. Now marijuana facilities, now they're like, hey, we gotta make it legal because they gotta tax it because it's gonna be sold anyway. But they were locking brothers up for it. So what are you gonna do? Free all the brothers that you got locked up already for weed charges? He was like, dog, that QP you locked me up for? Can I get that back and get on the streets now? They selling that in stores. Now I'm locked up. So an investment firm called Viridian Capital and Research, I believe. I believe that's the name of it. Don't quote me on it. But um, let me see. They published a book or some type of thing about the industry in like 2015. And the thing is, they're looking into like 75 different companies that participate in like marijuana related firms, and they raised about $80 million in capital in 2014. And what they were doing then is they're trying to get like a large segment of being like a consultant service, like 20.1 million, and all this ancillary cultivation, the retails, biotechnology for the weed and all this stuff. I know so much about it because people were trying to sell me on it. I could basically grow my own weed in this house. I know how to get the temperature right, how to make the temperature levels normal. Anybody can grow weed in their own house if they just somebody actually talk to them. You could actually grow like Kush in your house. Seriously, it can be done. If I was in the weed like that, people were trying to sell me on this back then, like in 2015. The electricity bill is gonna be high. No, it isn't. You'll be running things through a generator. You're gonna have an air cooling system that would cool down the rest of the house or to cool down that area. It would suck the heat out and blow the heat outside. So the heat won't even be in the house. Dude, you can do this in your own home, really. But I wouldn't advise it. Do it the legal way, all the way, 100%. But it could easily be done. But in most instances, if you don't know anything about plants, it won't work. And the reason why is because people who sell you this, they know about plants. I sat there and was listening to the pitch. And I told people, if for people who are growing this illegally, if you've seen yourself growing weed and you see at the end of at the tip of the actual bush, you see a yellow on the tips and they start breaking. You see it on plants too. You see that the tips, it be all brown at the tip of the plant and it turns yellow at the tips and you start seeing that on the leaves. Have you ever seen that? It'll turn brown or yellow. Do you know why that is? That's because there's too much iron in the water. It's not like an H2O. It's you can give a plant water and it'll still have those yellow tips. That's because it's too much iron in the water that you're giving it. So if you use sink water, that lets you know it's a lot of iron in sink water. Don't use sink water on your plants. So you go to a plant store and you get the actual medicine, that all the vitamins that's in the water, and you use that water for your plants. You said that was my folks that sent it to you. He's like, that was my folks that sent it to you. Okay, Frank, whatever you say. But yeah, you remember that. People spray pesticides on some of their plants. I know. And that's why now what this is going to expose is a lot of bad brands, a lot of off brand stuff, a lot of people trying to make their own strands and license it. They care more about that. And then next thing you know, they're mixing it with all different type of things to try to make the plant their own. And it'll be a whole new ball game. Basically, you'll be smoking crack or something worse. So to get in it early, doing the micro trends and all of those things, like when people lay out micro trends to talk about the whole marijuana industry and breaking it down, uh, what's his name, Viridian, they maintain an equal weighted total amount of returns on the weed, the index. And this is back in 2014, 15, when they were looking at the basis of returns on the first quarters, second quarters, the fact it became legal in Colorado, how the sales began in Washington, the consultant services behind it. It's a whole business operation behind it. They're employing people. They're employing all these technicians. It's creating jobs. It's infused products, retail, cultivation, all of these things. That's creating jobs. Heavy hitters and brass knuckles took a hit last year for bad products. That's why a lot of people want to get their own. See, when you're licensed by somebody, they own everything. Alkaline, what about Kagan water or alkaline water? All you got to do is go to a plant shop. They will teach you everything. Or if anybody's trying to get you to invest, they normally send you a package telling you or breaking down everything you need to know about it. And I hope you guys are doing it legally, because some places they buy people's strands of weed. You could buy from people who make it, them grow it themselves in certain places, like in Hemp County, that's where everything was at those dispensaries. They'll buy it off the streets. But that's why if you could do it without being licensed and you have enough, resources to do so, you're gonna want to go that route than being licensed. Being, being licensed is being controlled. It's like McDonald's. They're licensing you to have the name McDonald's. You're running it, but you have no control over the menu. You have no control over anything. You're just running operations. Yes, there's some dispensaries in Chicago, but you have to be medically prescribed in order to get it, of course. It's only for medicinal purposes. Well, here's the thing: value propositions and brand differentiation. They directly tie into your competition in the list, like longer lasting, rare, easier to use, safer to use, more efficient. That's designed by somebody who endorsed by a celebrity or something that's greener, more exotic. You're like, yeah, that's what I want. Or approved by a respected organization. Like the FDA said, this is the best. Those are the type of things that when a company look into something that they're looking at right away. Companies qualify like important things to define the best thing you can get in the early process that eventually inform you how to brand your company to the public, like through like a discovery process. You are sure to discover other needs and desires and everything else as long as your initial value propositions and hypotheses are being tested in a field where you feel you're able to respond to the customer's true needs and stuff like that. You say CBD is in high demand right now. Well, that's the scary. When something's in high demand like that, it's very hard to, navigate such things. Now, in terms of the way your company will interact with, let's say, customers, how your products and services will be in an endeavor to build relationships to customers, and how to respond to complaints calmly and quickly. See, those are the things you're going to have to go through because they're going to be complaints. And with marijuana, you don't want to have any type of problems where it leads to a massive complaint. Now, deliveries, when they start a delivery service, so now you're going to be using people in platforms like Uber or Airbnb to connect with customers, with your company, with each other, and that creates more jobs. See, offering an online ordering service where competitors don't, that's going to open another door for you as far as getting yourself out there, getting food out there, getting different things out there done. See, a solid marketing plan is it clearly shows you like how to get to acquired customers. Mr. Nice got marketing plan. No, see the thing is how you approach the marketing, the marketplace, and getting to acquire people is like you may want to consider the competitors are doing and how their strategies are lacking or how they can be improved. So you look at the situation and saying, man, they screwing up. I wouldn't do it this way. If I had this, I'll be doing it this way. That's how you do it. That's how you build a sustainable path to the customers. Is one of the hardest aspects of a company because they're like, man, we got to reach out to people. You got to think creative on how I can get my attention out to the people without breaking the law and the overall business plan. That's what you really want to do. You don't want to break the law. And the hardest thing to discover in any business is a financial plan. People are like, well, I'm just going to make some money. That's a little difficult. The financial plan is one of the most important parts of the overall business. Period. If you're seeking outside investment, either from an angel investor or a bank or institution, a VC, that's venture capital firm, you clearly need to know like where the money's going. If you're trying to raise 100,000, where will that money go? Will it be for marketing? Will it be a head count, research and development department? Like where are you going? Everything's going to be criminal intent. There's going to be criminal intent in everything. There's criminal intent in products going to Best Buy. Certain trucks don't show up at Walmart. They still can't get the UPS thing 100% correct. There's going to be all of these different fallouts. Period. So that's not a shock. These are all these this that's a part of business. They caught that as a loss. You think Walmart loses money when they lose a truck of products? You think UPS loses money when they don't get a one shipment or two shipments? You know how many packages get lost in UPS a day? Do you think that they pay that money back or they pay it off? They don't lose money. That's what they pay insurance for, to insure these things to happen. They just hope they don't happen, but it happens. Somebody will jack a load, jack a truck. Next thing you know, those products are on the streets. Guys on the corner got them, and they're selling it to you. You're buying a TV that was in the store for $1,200, and you might be able to buy it on the streets for $400. It's people gonna find a way to eat. They look at that as, hey, that's a loss we can afford to take. Well, they used to have people that write up your business plans. A lot of people have ideas, they don't know how to put it on paper. So they have people to write up your business plans for you. Right. So you sign NDAs. There's a lot of different circumstances to keep in mind because you want to have all your things proprietary only to yours. Right. The streets gonna eat. So either you give them a little bit of food so they stay outside, or they'll come inside to get it. So that's how they look at it. So believe me, it ain't like they ain't cracking down on the missing UPS truck. They're not worried about it. Most of this stuff don't even make the news. But people make a living in a business illegally off this stuff. Trust me, is definitely what goes on. If you want to know about hiring people, if you want to get involved in legal marijuana, I would go to Green Growth CPAs. That's a team of CPAs. They help people who want to get into the world of business, get in an industry, create business plans for them. Same thing I was talking about. You're optimizing revenue, navigating the cliffhanger landscape, the marijuana industry. So they've been doing it for like half a decade. They got Price Waters, Coopers, LLP, and a tax company they've had there for nearly 2 years. So if you want to get help from them, if you want to get involved in it, that's where to go. Green Growth CPAs. Would I consider getting involved? No, it's not my field. It's not my field. I'm just not. I've been pitched it before. It's just I don't know how to be unique in it. If I'm getting something, I would have to be unique in it, which means I would have to have all know how of weed, what strands, what brands, what the people want. And I have not devoted that much time and don't have that much time to devote to learning all of these things. Because I would want to firsthand knowledgeably know about it. Plus, with that, hey, thanks, bro. I appreciate that, bro, man. I was just talking about that on the last video, bro, man. What you was talking about, that last Eminem video I did. The reason why I'm saving that story, the reason why, because I've been doing all these interviews with Eminem. We've been reviewing it, so I haven't really talked about it. I just don't want to overwhelm people. People are already overwhelmed with me and Eminem. I'm trying to detox myself from all of it. But every day they got part 4, part 5. Hopefully, this is the last part of this ridiculous interview. Yeah, I was giving you a shout out on the video. All the people that donated. Well, it's always supply and demand. Supply and demand. Yeah, but it's a little bit more than that when you talk. talking the business of it. Yeah, I dropped two. I did the movie review for White Boy Rick on the Screen Fiend account. I did the truth of what's going on behind Superman being fired, Henry Cavill, what's going on behind the scenes. I actually talked to some people I haven't spoken to in a long time, asking around about that, and that's done. I have some videos coming out today on the main page, the Bobby Brown part two, talking about what's happening there with Bobby Brown. I did that, so it's a lot of stuff going down. The Predator, I've already did that movie review 2 days ago. So that's what I'm saying. If you want to get involved in it and making it, don't get it. If you can do it without being licensed, you don't want to be licensed. You just don't. If you can afford to make your own, you will come out of it so much better. You will feel so much better about doing it. The process is a lot more grueling, but it's more rewarding to you because you're in control now of what's grown, how it's distributed, everything. But the revenue is much more rewarding. There, when you're licensed, they control everything. You get it? They got it all. They run it. Whoa, this thing shot up in the air. Well, the documentary to me will be a lot more entertaining than the movie. Listen, there are a lot of towns that wouldn't exist right now if it wasn't for marijuana. And the government turned a blind eye to it. Just you remember the TV show Weeds? I know a lot of you probably young don't probably remember it, but Weeds was out. And what was it about? A white family selling marijuana to make ends meet because they ran out of money and all this stuff, so they were selling weed. Exactly. So that's what happened to an entire town. This whole town had to go to selling weed. The whole town, if it wasn't for the purchase of marijuana, it had became a revenue process for the entire town. The whole town would have been bankrupt because it used to be a steel town and a mill town. Now all the steel mills are closed down and they didn't have anything going for it. So the town needed it. It saved the town. So they knew that everybody was selling weed and it was illegal, but they had to let it go. I can't wait to do a spoiler review. I can't wait to do a spoiler review for Predator. I really can't. That's gonna be off the chain. I just need to be unleashed. I gotta wait a couple of days. I'm like, I want to do a spoiler review for Predators, where I get to go off on the Predator movie. I just did the movie review a couple of days ago. I want to go off. I can't wait. I can't wait. I just need 2 more days. By Saturday night, I'm going off. I'm going off. Predator compared to Predators, how was Kale in that movie? What are you talking about? Kale wasn't in this movie. What you talking about? It looked like a comedy, bruh. As soon as it comes, it's nothing but a comedy. Man, listen, it was more laughter in this movie than any comedy been out this year. I guarantee you that. Any comedy that been out this year, it was more laughter in Predator. That's how they aligned it. There's so many jokes flying. People are just dying laughing in Predator. That's not supposed to happen. But they set it up like this. They were like, look, the Predator, this is a joke. Let's just have fun. It was nothing but jokes all the way through. It could not be taken seriously at all. Oh, that's all he did was crack jokes. He's like, you know how your he's like, you know how your dad got circumcised? Yeah, what? Somebody kicked your mom in the chin. Yeah, it was lines just like that. Like, your mom's like EA Sports, rated E for everyone. I haven't seen Yardy yet. I'm waiting to see Yardy. Oh, it's terrible. They taking the lines. She sees the Predator, the one girl. You're one beautiful mother ucker. I'm like, yeah, yeah. I'm telling you, joke after joke after joke after joke after joke after joke. Some of it was funny, it fit with some of the characters, but the other ones didn't. Like the guy who was the funniest guy, the guy who had the Tourette syndrome, he was actually funny because he had his Tourette's would just come in, just wild. Uh, Eat the ussy. You gotta eat my ussy. I didn't say that. I said you're being pushy. I mean, he was funny. He was funny with his Tourette system just coming out. I told you this movie was the biggest comedy of all time. The Predators had nothing to do. They didn't act like the Predators at all. I can't wait to do a full out movie review for this film, Predator. I can't wait. Believe me, I cannot wait to unleash on the Predator. Believe me, I've never seen a Predator movie. I wanted to walk out at a certain scene. I said, I gotta go. This is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. I want to leave. I wanted to leave. I wanted to leave. No, I need to get that off my chest. I'm gonna do a spoiler review and get it all off my chest. It's got to go down, especially after this chick did. Woo. No, I loved every alien movie that ever came out better than this. I swear, I don't know. I understand Shane Hawkins. I mean, not Shane Hawkins. Shane Black, who plays Hawkins in the original Predator. He's actually the director of this film. And I see why Hawkins was the first person killed. Hawkins, you had to go. and you had to go for making this film. I gave this movie a star and a half because I could not stand it. I could not stand a movie like this. This ticked me off worse than Sanaa Lathan running side by side with a predator. And they did it again in this film. And I wanted to kill somebody. How much money I think it'll gross? Anytime it gross over $5. This movie makes more than $5, then they made way too much money. Some of the CGI didn't work. Wait, look, I'm going into it too much. I'm wait till my movie review. I'm getting mad thinking about it now. I'm getting mad just thinking about it. Man, they screwed that up, that movie, man. They screwed it all the way up.